You don't fall off because you're weak. You fall off because you rely on how you feel, and feelings are unstable. One day you're focused, next day you're distracted. One moment you're driven, next moment you're done. Same goals, same plans, a different outcome. Why? Because your system changes with your mood, and anything controlled by mood will always break. That's the truth most people avoid. They don't lack discipline, they lack structure. So they wake up and ask themselves, do I feel like doing it today? And that question is where everything collapses. Because now your brain has a choice, and your brain, it's wired for comfort. So it chooses the easier path, not because you're lazy, because you gave it the option. That's the trap. You think you need more motivation, you don't. You need fewer decisions. Because every decision opens the door to hesitation, and hesitation leads to delay, and delay becomes a pattern. So instead of trying to control your feelings, you remove them from the equation. That's where systems come in, because systems don't care how you feel, they operate, regardless. And that's what makes them powerful. They create consistency, even when you don't feel consistent. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They build systems, but they keep them flexible. I'll do it later. I'll adjust today. I'll make up for it tomorrow. That's not a system, that's a suggestion. And suggestions are easy to ignore. So the first shift, make your system non-negotiable. If it's scheduled, it happens. No debate, no adjustment, no emotion. Because the moment you allow exceptions, you train yourself to break your own rules. And once that happens, you're back to relying on feelings again. Now here's something deeper. Most people try to build perfect systems, complex routines, detailed plans, optimized schedules, and it looks impressive until they stop following it. Because complexity creates friction, and friction kills consistency. So the second shift, simplify everything, fewer habits, clear actions, repeatable structure, because simple systems are easier to follow, even on your worst days. And those days, they matter the most. Now listen carefully, because this is where systems actually fail, not in design, in starting. If your system requires too much effort to begin, you won't begin. So the third shift, lower the entry point. Make starting effortless, not finishing, starting. Because once you begin, momentum takes over, but if you never start, nothing moves. And most people stay stuck there, waiting to feel ready. Now here's something you can't ignore. Your environment is part of your system, whether you designed it or not. If distractions are everywhere, you will get distracted. If your phone is always within reach, you will check it. If your workspace is chaotic, your focus will be too, and then you blame yourself. But it's not you, it's the setup. So the fourth shift, engineer your environment. Make the right actions easier, make the wrong ones harder, remove triggers that pull you off track. Because when your environment supports your system, you don't need to fight yourself. And when you stop fighting yourself, consistency becomes natural. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. You will not feel like following your system. Not every day, maybe not even most days. And that's exactly why you need it. So the fifth shift, detach from how you feel. You don't ask, do I feel motivated? You ask, what does my system say? And then you follow it. Because the system already decided for you. That's the power. It removes uncertainty, it removes hesitation, and it removes excuses. Now here's where identity changes. Most people see themselves as inconsistent. I'm not disciplined. I struggle to stay on track. And that belief controls their behavior. So the sixth shift, redefine your identity through systems. You're not someone trying to be consistent. You're someone who follows systems. And systems don't depend on personality, they depend on execution. So every time you follow your structure, you reinforce that identity, and over time, it becomes real. Now the final shift, and this is what makes it sustainable. Most people build systems, but they abandon them after one mistake. They miss a day, they feel off, they stop completely. That's not failure, that's overreaction. So the seventh shift, protect the system, not perfection. You missed once? Fine. You don't miss twice. You adjust and continue. Because consistency isn't about being perfect, it's about returning quickly, and that's what keeps the system alive. Now step back, look at your life honestly. How much of what you do depends on how you feel, and how much is structured regardless of mood? Because that difference is why you're stuck, or why you're progressing. It's not random, it's designed, whether you realize it or not, and once you see that, you stop blaming motivation, you stop chasing inspiration, you stop waiting to feel ready, you build systems, and those systems build you, quietly, consistently, without needing hype, without needing pressure, just execution, day after day, and eventually, you become someone who doesn't fall off. Not because life got easier, but because your structure got stronger, and strong structure creates unstoppable people. So the question is simple. Will you keep relying on something unstable, or will you build a system that works even when you don't? Because one path keeps you inconsistent, the other makes progress inevitable. Choose carefully, because your future isn't built on your best days. It's built on what you do on the days you don't feel like it. If this changed your perspective, subscribe, because the next video might change your life.